Hi there, welcome back to the Narrow Path. This is episode 3. I'm going to tell you a little bit of the major thing that happened to me at the orphanage because there was a lot, but only thing that really like out of ordinary thing that I will share today. Otherwise, the video would go hours. One of the major thing that still ingrained to my heart, in my mind today, is the first time I got sick at the orphanage. And I have this, I think Robert said it's chicken pox or smallpox. I can't, whatever the shot that the military give you, I had it. And I had sore all over my legs, my arm, but not on my face. And I was so sick for so long, for at least a week before anybody discovered me. I was at the second story at this little hut. It's in the garden hut. I don't know how I end up there, but the sore smelled so bad. It was so painful and itchy when it started to heal, but oh, the pain. And I remember the fever that came into me. I was just laying there. I don't know how many days. I don't remember that I was, because I'm up the second stair. I don't remember anybody bring me food or water. I just lay there. And for a long time, for a few days, it was just me. And I could hear kid doing thing, the nun saying thing, but it was just me spacing out. And then finally one day, out of nowhere, out the blue, a nun, one of the head nun, came up the stair. She usually doesn't. And she came up the stair and she saw me, and she was just completely surprised. The stench that came from me. I have all this sore on my leg. The pus is like coming out of me, and my fever's off who know what. And I just stared at her, you know, and she knew right away. She didn't touch me because I was contagious, which she understand that. I didn't know that. I didn't understand how bad of the sickness I had. And I still have the scar to this day on my legs, and a lot of, and anyway, I'm sorry. The memory is still very strong, and I could still smell it. And she came in when she saw, and she was just, I think it's the first time I saw her actually scared. And she's a very tough nun. She went to the other side of the nunnery, got a doctor. The doctor came and gave me a shot, and from there, I remember slowly I recovered, but it was a long process. It was a long recovery, and but the good thing is she found me just at the right time, and that was one of the big major that God saved me from there. And then other thing, I really miss home, and I try to live that life, but from time to time that loneliness and the homesickness really hit me, and I would stand on the rooftop, like the top of the roof. They make it flat there where we could wash the clothes and hang children's clothes to dry, and I would stand on top of the roof, and I would look across the horizon, and I would tell myself, if I walk straight from that line, from where I am to the line, I could make it home. And I could see it all in my head. But I also understand that it's very far to walk home. But I have an aunt that live a lot closer. It's like 2-3 hour walking, closer than where my parent lived. So I concoct a plan. Yes, I ran away. I ran away from the orphanage at least once a year. And the first time I ran away, my uncle and aunt's house, they kept me there at their house. And my uncle went and got my dad. And then he brought me back to the orphanage. And I don't think the first time they noticed I was gone. Because like I said, it's a lot of kids. There's a lot of people they got to keep track on. And so I didn't really get in trouble. They just kind of like, don't do it again, you know. So they got me in trouble. They punished me, but it wasn't as severe. But and then next year again, I ran away, and my dad brought me back to the orphanage. So I was not a very caged-in child. I always try to do things that, you know, I just wanted to be home. Frankly, I wanted to go home. I miss my mom. I miss my home life. I wanted to go home. And so that happened a lot. And I walk home. I walk to my aunt's house, and that's like, think of a 10, 11 years old walking an hour or 2 hours by herself, and the dangers of that. And it's a miracle that nobody kidnapped me or hurt me. That didn't even occur to me that somebody would kidnap me and hurt me. There was no fear. All I see is this angel over my head protecting me as I walk. And in my heart, I knew that God wouldn't let anything happen to me. So I had this blind faith at that young age, and just completely, yeah, crazy. But and then my last time was my best friend wine, and she knew it in her heart that I was gonna run away. So she followed me everywhere I went. She went with me, and we went to the wooden church that's outside of the orphanage. And she's just like right next to me. She knew. I didn't tell her this. I didn't tell her I was gonna run away that day, but she knew. So she followed me, and then I distracted her with something. I tell her, oh, there's something under the wooden church. Okay, I forgot what I distracted her with. So while she did that, I ran away from her. I ran away from her and head out to the direction to my aunt and uncle's house. And next, I got pretty far. And next thing, I heard my name calling. She called my name. She's like, Dozar, Dozar. And I turned around, and there she was. And she's still quite distant from me. And she said, don't do it. Come back. Come back. And did you think I listened? Nope. I said, I'm sorry. You got to stay here. I got to go. I have to go. And one last time I turned and I walked straight. I did not listen to her. I just kept going. And she stand back there. She said she told me later, she stand back there until she can't see me anymore. And then she came home. She came back to the orphanage so sad and crying. And she thought that was the last time she was going to see me. And I went to my uncle and aunt. They went and got my dad. My dad brought me back to the orphanage. And this time, the nun ordered other kid not to eat with me, not to hang out with me, and other bigger kid isolated me because I did that. And I didn't have a place. Nobody wanted to be with me. I didn't have a place to sleep. In fact, they threw my clothes over on the ground from the second story, so my clothes scattered everywhere. I went and picked it up. Yeah, which I don't blame them. I understand, you know, me being the black sheep. I understand that. And my best friend Guy, in a way, they kept her away from me because they were trying to teach me a lesson, not to run away again, because that's the next time it's gonna be a lot more severe. And so yeah, I ate by myself. Nobody wanted to associate with me. But when she was finally able, she came and talked to me, and she told me why she was so sad. She just said she felt different this time. This time when I ran away, it's just so different. And she said she was petrified that was the last time I'm gonna see her. Um, but that's the life. And all this time that happened, um, I had a paper. I was being adopted, um, and that paper started when I was young to now at a 15, almost 15 years old. And I never thought I would get adopted. I never thought my paper would go through because it was so long. Everything just hurdle on every aspect of it. And so after that big runaway, my last time, and the big punishment and the isolation from everybody, um, I think my spirit kind of broke, and I was beginning to accept it. This was going to be my life. I was going to be at the orphanage until I became a nun, and that was it. And there's no need. Instead, I focus on my Bible to become a nun, studying to become a nun. They actually had a nun prep and get ready for me. And I was, like I said, almost 15, so my thought thing had to change. I believe 6 or 3 months from then, or 4 months, the nun got a news that said my adoption parent was gonna come and get me. The paper started to work up again, to pick up again. And I said, okay. I think by then I completely just kind of gave up the idea. I just like, whatever work, whatever come, it must happen. And there was no need for me to fight. But life as a nun is a lot easier than anything else. And I start to see that and understand that. But yeah, that is a snippet of my life at the orphanage. And I'm not saying that mine was any harder than any other kid, far from it. Some kids have it a lot harder than me, and some kids have it a lot better than me. It is just, we all have different story. We all have come from different background, and we all those around us, you know, the nun, they had different plan for each of us. So we all did our best to make what isn't the best environment to grow in. We all try to make our best. And I think, and God put each of us, we're Catholic, so the Mass was such a big thing. And so everything they did was in the right mind to keep us on track to a good life, to a responsible life. And someday, like I said, one of the nun that was very strict on me, she had a breast cancer. And when I was waiting in Saigon to come to America, she came to me and she said, do you know why I was so hard on you? And she admitted she was very hard on me. And other people saw that I was their favorite. But she said she was so hard on me because she expected better of me. And she knew I could do better, a lot more than most other. So she pushed me. She isolated me. It was like a tough love type of deal thing. But as a kid, it was hard to see that I was their favorite, you know. But to other kids, they could see it, even though the nun was so hard on me. And I mean, getting throwouts, getting punished, being isolated, everything I did was, I felt like there was an obstacle that this nun did. And so when she came back with surgery, she finally came and told me why she was hard. And to me, that was the best thing she could have told me. And till this day, I remember, and it changes my perspective, how I see things at the orphanage, how it was hard while I go through it, but now I appreciate what she did. I appreciate that she was hard on me. But that's some part of my life, and how this all tie up to God saved me first from the sickness. A miracle that nobody had to check on me for days. And this same nun that was hard on me, somehow she popped up, that a place that she hardly ever come to see, and she popped up, saved me from that sickness. God saved me from that through her. And other thing is, I ran away at a very young age by myself, and no harm came to me because God was with me. Even then, I didn't realize I was just a dingy little child, but He saved me. And then the last time that I ran away, I had a big punishment fit, as I should, you know. And after that 6 months, of runaway, my adoption paper picked up and continued to go through. So God put all this thing that happened. I had to walk through all of that fire to get me to where I need to be, where my mind and my heart need to understand what's coming next is a lot bigger than my journey in my beginning. And that's it for today. It's such a long video already. I apologize. So I really hope you guys come back for next week on Saturday. Today is my youngest son, my son, birthday celebration. So I'm excited to get that start. Thank you for watching. May God bless you and your family. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody. Bye.